Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we, as always, share news from our city, our state, and our country with you, news that can be a positive influence in our lives here in Puerto Vallarta. As a community of English-speaking locals, we combine this with your wonderful contributions, your questions, your ideas, your suggestions on things to talk about, things to figure out, and so forth. Today is Friday all day long, and we are so happy.
Thank God it's...
Oh, did I just hear disco music? Haha. Funny, we have a disco music appreciation presentation coming up in a few weeks, but not yet. Today is Friday, September 29, and as always, we have a little bit of news, a little bit of comments, and this and that to share. Before we get going, though, as always, we welcome... Oh, I love it. Thank you, Betsy Ann. I see a nice comment from Betsy Ann about yesterday's music appreciation presentation. We'll get into that later on in the broadcast. But first, let me welcome everyone that is watching, particularly those of you that are watching live for the first time. If you'd like a nice little friendly welcome, just write the word new in your comment and you'll be good to go. And of course, if you have something truly important that you wish to share with everybody, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. That way we can single it out during our chit chat section later on in the broadcast. And I think this is a good segue to get started with the news. Let me just set them up and we are good to go. And we start with a little bit of a public service announcement. We have a couple of those today. If you may want to rethink your day, if you have any business to conduct at City Hall today or at any other government administrative offices you see, today is National Public Servant Day, and as such, City Hall and all other public offices in town will be closed and will reopen on Monday with their usual business hours. And of course, this is one reason why we certainly hope that CEPAL gets done the water shortage repairs that they announced this morning. They announced water shortages in Colonias Ramblaces, Jardines, Independencia, Niños Héroes, Ojo de Agua, Los Delfines, and Valentín Gómez Farías. According to their notice, service will be reinstated by 3 p.m. today, so keep your fingers crossed. Let us hope this doesn't turn into one of those affairs in which they don't come back until Monday with unfinished work. Now, I want to share some sad news about Holi Beach. It hasn't been a good season for Holi Beach. This is the beach that is located right behind the La Isla shopping mall. First, they were not shut down, but the beach was flagged because the water is too polluted, and now apparently there is a major trash problem going on there, which has been going on there for some time. According to this report, it is unfortunate that the city only picks up trash about once a week there, and there's a lot of trash that accumulates either from beachgoers to local vendors and so forth. And as you can see, some of those trash containers have more than extended their useful life. They're turned around upside down. So let us hope that the city pays attention to this, and hopefully this will be addressed. The article points out that this is located right in the tourist area, and they are correct in pointing this out. Purim pum pum. I see some welcomes going on, so we'll get to that in a second. But first, we have more details about the upcoming eclipse. As we mentioned earlier, a few days ago, a solar eclipse will take place on Saturday, October 14. The natural phenomenon will be visible in some parts of North, Central, and South America, and it is expected to be of the ring of fire variety, which happens when the moon is further away from the Earth in such a way that instead of fully covering the sun, the moon creates this so-called ring of fire that is visible around its edges. Now, as you can see from this map produced by NASA, the eclipse will be partially visible in our neck of the woods, which would be around here, somewhere between the 60% and the 35% visibility marks. So it may not be as glamorous as in other parts of Mexico. The event will begin at 9:30 in the morning. So we'll keep our eyes open on this one, but certainly not staring directly at the sun, as this is not the best of ideas. Okay, so let us turn over to the weather just to see what's going on out there and what we can expect for this weekend. Where is my weather? Why is my weather not showing up? Because I pushed the wrong button. There you go. Some of these clouds, I assume, are good clouds, says Snarky Weatherman. I certainly hope Snarky Weatherman is correct. We're enjoying 28 degrees Celsius right now. Humidity is at 75%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 82. Our weather forecast for today says we're going to have mostly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 36%, a high of 32, and a low of 25. Then tomorrow, mostly clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 56%, a high of 33, and a low of 25. And then Sunday, it's going to be a rainy day, apparently. Mostly clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 75%, a high of 33, and a low of 26. Sunday, I'm going to the movies to see this film about artificial intelligence called in English The Creator. But of course, the title in English translated to Spanish would have been El Creador. And Mexico being such a religious country, El Creador, people might get the idea that this is a film about religion. So they changed the title to something that has nothing to do with AI creation, but I digress. Let me take a quick look at what's next. Just a quick report. Of course, yesterday was our Sondheim Day, and it was very rewarding. It was great to get together with a dozen friends and dive deep into Stephen Sondheim's lyrics. And of course, next on the list is our country music presentation, From Dusty Trails to Chart-Topping Tales. Now, somebody commented yesterday, and I appreciated the comment very much. Somebody said to me, well, if you're going to be talking about the latest trends in country music, I will probably not be there because I like the classic stuff. And my response was, for me, the research has a lot less to do with a roll call of what's going on with the latest and greatest, and it has a lot more to do with how the circumstances in the United States were such that country music blossomed when it did. So we're going to be looking at the historical factors that contributed to the blossoming of country music. And of course, and I say this without any disrespect, if country music is considered to be music for a certain class of individuals in the United States and not for others, well, that wouldn't be that dissimilar to certain types of music in Mexico that is only listened to by a certain class of individuals. So I'm fascinated by that, and I think it'll be an interesting exploration. I also want to let you know that I received an announcement from Christchurch by the Sea about an upcoming Blessing of the Animals service that will take place on October 8th at 10 a.m. at Plaza Genovesa. No contact information was provided, although I did find a Facebook page for the church, which I will gladly include in the show notes. Unfortunately, the Christ Church by the Sea is yet another local organization that does not publish Facebook events, as the last one they featured on their page dates back to 2020. Again, more as a public service than as a criticism, when keep in mind, if anybody here that is a part of the Christ Church by the Sea, keep in mind that when you only publish on your Facebook wall, your post is primarily visible only to your followers. Whereas when you post a Facebook event, which is not only a free operation or a free option, but it only takes 5 minutes tops to publish one of those, you are amplifying your message to reach a lot more followers. So just keep that in mind if you care to, and if you don't, that's okay too. And last but not least, we announced last week that the patron saint fiestas are taking place in Pitillal, and the closing event is tomorrow with a nice old-fashioned Mexican rodeo that is going to take place at the Lienzo Charro, which is located right near the downtown area of Pitillal, within walking distance, only 2 or 3 blocks away. Now, this is the closest or the easier to reach jaripeo or rodeo. This is the easiest one to reach in town. If you were ever curious about what goes on, there's live music, there is people doing charro stunts, there's banda, there's food, there's beer, there's all kinds of things. And this is going to go on tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. I understand that ladies get in for free between 5 and 6 p.m., so do keep that in mind if you want to consider this activity as something to do over the weekend. And with that said, we can jump over to your comments just to see what is going on out there. Let me take a quick look. Oh, excuse my clearing the throat. Lots of good mornings, some good afternoons. Brian, I'm glad that you're back from your 20th anniversary celebration getaway. I still can't believe you went away without yarn and hooks, but that is what I call true love. To dedicate all your attention to your husband, that's the way to do it. But if you're going through crochet withdrawal, just let me know and we can hook together. Let's see. Many good mornings this morning, which is beautiful. Oh my goodness, time flies. Dan and Kathy are back in 23 days. That is extraordinary. I swear this summer just came and went. Pat says, struggle getting in today. More coffee is needed. Well, you see, yesterday. Oh, that's right. I have some news to share. Yesterday, after the music appreciation presentation, a handful of us went and had dinner at Siam PV. This would be Michael Beaufort's amazing amazing Thai restaurant in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. Yesterday was the first day they came back from a well-deserved vacation, and I was curious to learn, and you would be too, I suppose, that Michael is actually decreasing prices in both restaurants, he said to us yesterday, because he is taking into account the dollar rate exchange and other factors. So good news, dining at Bravo's or Siam Cuisine could be a little bit less expensive or more affordable in the coming days. And this is actually great news. As always, service and the experience at Michael's restaurant was absolutely impeccable. And that's why we love going back to Siam Cuisine on a regular basis. Betsy, you are such a great trooper. I appreciate your comment. And it's nice. It's nice to I love events that teach me new things and make me remember things that I already knew. I am so glad that was the experience for you. And I appreciate the fact that somehow we're starting to get a bigger and bigger audience at these music appreciation presentations. For me, the selling point is not only the fact that we try to tackle many different music styles or composers and whatnot, but we give ourselves the opportunity to sit in a room, an air-conditioned room, a comfortable one, if I may say so, and just dedicate our attention undividedly to music for an hour and a half. It's just heavenly. And the beautiful thing is that yesterday there were great suggestions for upcoming presentations, which I'm going to be adding to the schedule, and this is a great thing. I'm very, very happy. There's a question from Gary. Is it still required to get vehicle sticker? I haven't heard anything after all the issues and protests. Well, people are doing it, Gary. The verification is on, and there's a schedule for verifying your vehicle. And whether fines are being implemented or not, I don't know. But this is something that came to stay. And as far as I know, you do have to verify your vehicle. Now, do remember that verification takes place according to, I believe, the last character in your license plate. So all you want to do is check and make sure that you're going on the month in which you're supposed to go. I don't know what happens if you go in a different month, but that's what I know. And Saul, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Saul, hello, Saul. Thank you for joining us last night. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. It was great seeing you there. And welcome to Coffee and Headlines, or welcome to Live Coffee and Headlines. It's a pleasure to see you here. Purim pum pim pam pum. Let's see what else we have. Da 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 da. Pat says sad for Playa Holi. Yes, I hear you, Pat. You know, Playa Holi, from where I live, is probably one of the closest beaches where I can go. And there's a cute little restaurant there that we've talked about, El Oasis del Holi. But unfortunately, you know, we can't swim there because the water's polluted, or we choose not to. And then, you know, as long as you're hanging out at El Oasis del Holi, I'm sure it's okay because it's a great little restaurant with great service. But how sad. It is just sad that some of these very popular touristy areas are not as well kept as they could be. Hopefully that'll change. Rob told me privately that he had a visit from Monty. And by Monty, I mean Montezuma. And all I can say is it happens to all of us. I'm sending you good vibes, and I sure hope that the rest of the cluster is sending you good vibes. Keep drinking lots of liquids, keep resting, keep binging on Netflix shows, and hopefully you'll recover soon. Let's see what else we have. Purum, another cue. Evan says on April 8th, 2024, there will be another solar eclipse. It will be total in Mazatlan for those that want to make a road trip. Thank you for that, Evan. I've been mindful of the fact that another total solar eclipse is coming up. I just haven't mentioned it just yet because it's still far away, but as long as you brought it up, let's talk about it. I've been wanting to go back to Mazatlan because the new aquarium has opened and it's supposed to be the largest in Latin America, so I'm intrigued. Maybe that would be a fun time to go and visit Mazatlan. I will put that in my calendar. Thank you very much. Let's see what else we have. Purum pum pum. Yes, where did September go? By the time we get together again here at Coffee and Headlines, it will be October. Hello, Jefe Costa. It's great to see you. Let's see. Pa-da-pa-pa-pa-pa. Yes, Curtis. Isn't that amazing? A restaurant owner actually decreasing prices to consider the plummeting dollar. Well, some restaurants get it, Other restaurants, maybe not so much. And I think it's nice to know the ones that do get it. Thank you for that, Scott. I remember you attended at least one of my music presentations when you were in town. I appreciate your comments very much. Let's see what else. Oh, interesting. Evan says, I understand that hotels in Mazatlan are filling up already. Time to book. Either time to book or time to find a boyfriend from Mazatlan, I say. Oh, dear. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of today's broadcast. As always, it is a pleasure to connect with you. And it will be a pleasure to connect with you again tomorrow. It'll be our last broadcast of the week. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you will stay happy, kind, dry, grateful, and loving, and all those wonderful good things throughout the day. And hopefully we will get together again tomorrow. Between now and then, a little crochet for me, and I'm starting my research for the country music presentation because that's going to be a lot of work. Take care.